If I told you Barcelona was going full Spanish? That's right. In today's Football Manager rebuild, every non-Spanish player is out of the door. Gone. No exceptions. We're going to rebuild from the ground up with only Spanish players. Whether it's an academy product or a transfer, they have to be Spanish. Question is, can you dominate the La Liga, win the Copa del Rey and also conquer Europe with just a squad that consists of Spanish players? It's going to be brutal, it's going to be very chaotic, and if we do pull it off, we might go down as a Spanish legend. So be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And if you do like Spanish players, it's your ideal video. Let's get into it. So then, welcome back to a brand new video. And today we have got a very, very exciting product because we are going to be finally just rebuilding a team based off one nation. Now, Spain have got some great players. Barcelona also have got some great Spanish players as well. But they've also got some non-great Spanish players. The first one that I think of is Lewandowski. That's a big one. Rafinha. They've got some really good non-Spanish players. They have all been sent away from the club, and yes, we have had to use the editor to actually make this happen because it is a challenge rebuild, and I didn't want to have Rafinha for a season or two because then it's cheating. It's unfair on the video purpose. So that is why we've got no vice captain. And yeah, we've lost a lot of players, man. I've sent them all to Saudi, and we've not given ourselves any money from this either, so it makes it even tougher. Now, even with those players gone, we still have a great reputation, great training, great youth recruitment. The owners still love the club. The finances are somewhat okay, of course. They're not perfect at Barcelona, but what this club has achieved since they've been a team from day one is nothing but magnificent. I mean, 5 Champions Leagues, 28 Spanish First Division titles, 3 Club World Championships, 4 European Cups, 3 Europa Leagues, 5 UEFA Super Cups, 31 Spanish Cups, 14 Spanish Super Cups, and 2 Spanish League Cups. This is, in my opinion, well, it's not even my opinion, it's a fact, one of the best clubs in the entire world of football. So, super important we get them back firing purely with a Spanish squad. Now, in terms of the money, debts and loans, of course, there is a fair bit of debt at this club. Now, because this is not a debt cleanse and rebuild or anything like that, we are going to aim to sign players every window because we got rid of so many players. If we go and show you right now, these are the players that you lose. Now, we are playing on an up-to-date database, so the likes of Araujo is going to go to, well, they all are going to go to Al Hilal. That team are going to dominate the Saudi League. We're going to lose him, one of our starting centre-backs. New talent, Ronnie Bargi, a bit of an FM legend. He is going to be going. Szczesny, obviously, Polish, so we can't have him in the 11, so a good goalkeeper gone there. Lewandowski, our bagsman up front. I don't mind this as much because he is 36, so it's not the end of the world, to be honest. Even if I weren't doing Spanish only, probably would have sold him in a couple of seasons anyway. Frankie de Jong's a big loss. One of the best players in the team, of course, is Dutch, so we can't be using him. Ter Stegen, another world-class goalkeeper, out the door as he is German. Rafinha, incredible player. I mean, what a loss that is, by the way, losing one of our best attacking players. Christiansen, and of course Koundé, who is French. So we do lose, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players, and we have signed no one. We give ourselves no money because it is a little bit cheaty if we do that, but to make this video fun and instantly a challenge from day one, I have simply let them go all to the Saudi League, because then they don't also impact European competitions, so it's not an unfair disadvantage for me trying to win the Champions League and also things like that. So they're going to have a stacked team. I mean, their team's going to be nuts, but looking at what we have got this team, and we are also using a Spanish manager tactic, Luis Enrique's old school Barcelona. And of course, at any part of this video you want to get the save file and all of my tactics, make sure you're going to check out the Patreon because there is still 30% off, and by now we would have announced the new giveaway, which is a record-breaking giveaway for that Patreon, so make sure you are going to go check it out because it's absolutely popping at the moment. Now, this tactic will get the most out of players. It is designed to get the most out of players, and there are some players that I need to promote into the team. Hector Fort is going to be a player that I instantly can't see. The likes of Casado as well, I believe, need to be promoted, so don't worry, they are going to be promoted. Of course, Ansu Fati is actually out on loan this season, which is quite interesting because we would have to do this. So if we put, for example, maybe Torres up front and then have Lamine Yamal, who, by the way, is going to be the star boy of this rebuild, and he will be locked in for a couple of seasons, but he will not be locked in forever. He'll be locked in for a couple of seasons to really dominate this Barcelona lineup and make the team his. If he doesn't do that, I'm not going to sit back and, you know, if we're not winning trophies with Yamal in the team, which would make the game very unrealistic, I'll be honest with you, I can't see that happening, then we will obviously strengthen the team throughout. But I mean, the team's not bad, even with just Spanish players. I mean, we can use Dani Olmo, he can go as an inverted winger. This guy's a fantastic player, very handy that they signed him because he's going to help me today. I don't mind Torres up front or on the wing. He's got good pace, good finishing, decent composure, 25 years of age. The midfield's an absolute joke. Obviously, we've got Pedri, who's 22. We don't even need to replace him ever in this entire rebuild, however long it is going to last for. He is an absolute baller. No need to replace him. You've got Gavi, same story applies. And obviously, in the middle, you've got Romeu, who I didn't even realise was Spanish. I'm not going to lie to you. But you have obviously got Fernandez. You can have other players in there. Casado can play there. And over seasons, we are going to sign some Spanish players. But I have had a look on the market, and Spanish players are quite hard to come by that would be a clear improvement on any of this team. So it's going to be a very challenging rebuild. Now, usually, you don't use them words when you say Barcelona rebuild, but just as a youth to gold would be challenging, this also has its own set of challenges. Now, the back line, as I've just noticed we have got Casado promoted, I apparently am blind, I would like him to play there, so Hector Fort does need to be promoted. In fact, we're going to go and do that right now, because I will forget. So Hector Fort is going to be promoted to the actual main team, which means that obviously he can play there, and that instantly gives me a little bit of more satisfaction going into this upcoming season, because I don't mind the back line. Eric Garcia is not too bad. I'll put him in there. Good talent. I mean, between Casado, Kabasi and Fort, really, really good talent in that team. Balde, sensational at left back. Again, that guy can stay in the team practically forever. Maybe just get a better backup. Goalkeeper, I'm 50-50 on. He's decent, but not exactly world class. So it's not going to be a run in the park for the first couple of seasons. Now, as for competitions, we're playing in the Spanish Super Cup, the Spanish Cup, and of course the Spanish League, where we are predicted to finish in third place. Now, it's probably because we released a lot of our players. Usually, I think we are predicted second place, so very interesting to go down a whole position, although probably quite fairly done, to be honest with you, as Real Madrid are an absolute joke, and now we've released a lot of our key players, maybe Atletico Madrid are going to be a bit more favourites, so it's going to be a challenge. The Champions League, I want to win, and this video will not end until we have won every single one of these trophies at least once. And in a dreamland, I'll be pulling off some sort of Spanish treble, some treble with the Champions League, because then I can sit back and say, yeah, we've done Barcelona proud with only Spanish players. So let's get into season one with no new transfers, losing a lot of key figures, and let's see how good Spain actually is. Be sure to leave a like. Let's get into it. We are off to the Super Cup final now, and this is going to be a blockbuster game, hence why I'm going to be showing you, because we're going to play Real Madrid, and they gift us a goal inside of 7 minutes. And you know what? I have gone into this game expecting to concede goals, because our backline is still young, and there's also injuries in the backline. But the attack, I'm absolutely loving. Yamal goes through and makes it 2, and we find ourselves 2-0 up against our toughest opposition in the Spanish League and Spanish Cups. But Real Madrid aren't just going to sit back and accept it. I mean, Carvajal, I could also have him if he wasn't playing for Madrid. He is going to play a great ball into Mbappe, and they're going to get a goal back before half-time. And I tell you what, this is where we are hopefully going to win this game, because we managed to bounce back before the half-time whistle goes with Torres inside into Casado first time, and we are going to make it 3-1 with a big advantage going into the second half, and we are going to lead on that advantage and grow that advantage with a bit of a set-piece play, and we're going to lead this game 4-1 against Real Madrid, which is absolutely fantastic. Until this happens, I mean, it's a dodgy clearance from Casado and Balde, Mbappe into Gula, plenty of space, takes on his man inside belly goal. Belly goal is going to make it 4-2, and at this stage of the game, anything can happen. And at the end of the day, if this wouldn't have happened, as in us going to get another goal, the game may have opened up a bit more, but Pedri goes through, a great ball from Yamal, as we are going to go 5-2 up, and despite me saying I was worried about conceding goals, We only concede 3, which I know is still quite a fair amount of goals, but with this back line, I'll accept it. So, first actual trophy. I mean, I'm going to take it, especially against Madrid. We also go on to win the Spanish Super Cup 1-0 over them. So far, we actually have got Madrid's number, and who knows? Maybe in Season 1 we've won everything. That would be some video, wouldn't it? But I mean, to get to this final, we also get past Girona, 5-0. We didn't really struggle against any team that we played, so really happy with this performance, and obviously that's already 2 Spanish trophies. Champions League didn't go as sweet. It's actually a very early exit, which tells me that don't worry, this video won't be ended in the next 2 minutes, because we have got loads of work to do to compete for that Champions League. Now, in terms of actually, of course it would be the group stages, wouldn't it? We are going to top it, which is really good here. We lose against Man City 2-3, or 3-2, and we draw against Marseille, but we still top the groups, which is a really, really good display. But sadly, the first real competitive stage of this against Chelsea, we lose 1-0, so not ideal there. And as for the league, we are going to finish in second, 12 points behind Real Madrid, so simply nowhere near good enough. Now, we have got key players in the stats. Torres is only a goal behind Mbappe. This guy's absolutely loving life playing as a striker, having a great time. Pedri with 12 assists. Our goalkeeper, nowhere to be seen, is actually joint 4th, so a little bit off the radar there. But for Season 1, considering the players we have lost and the fact we brought in no new players, that's actually a really, really good season in my opinion. I was not expecting to win both of these cups, maybe one of them. To finish second, I was expecting that, because I felt personally, I know how good my tactics are. I know that this team is still very, very good on paper, even without the players that we've released. So I'm very happy we at least pulled that off. And the team that was locked in is Yamal, Casado, and Cabrasi, and they done all very, 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 very well. The best 11, Yamal gets kicked out. I mean, luckily for us, Ansu Fati had a great season out on loan at Monaco, 17-7, which is lovely, because he will be getting used, because he is Spanish and he's still only 23. We've also got another goalkeeper returning. We also have this man returning, who is probably going to be at best a backup player, but he does enjoy a decent season out on loan, so I think we can keep him. He is Spanish, so we will keep him. Obviously, we never got to use Marcus Rashford. We do have him on the database, but he is English, therefore we couldn't use him. So any attacking players, I will happily take. But the front line, including Yamal on the bench, which just seems mental, 23-10. You've got 18-7 for Fati, Olmo 27-16, Torres 41-11. A blockbuster performance from him, who actually might have genuinely, well, he was locked in. He wouldn't have been locked in up front, but Yamal was locked in here. Olmo has played too many games to not be getting played. He would have been playing up front, Torres. So I think that will be the highest amount of goals you ever see from him. 11-15 for Pedri. Gavi also does well. Romeu does well. The wing-backs do incredibly well. Very interesting to see Garcia gets pushed out as a right back, and to be honest with you, I don't like it. He can't cross, he's slow, he's just a really good centre-back, so need to try and really get Hector. Where is Hector for, actually? I don't know what's happened to him, because I did promote him, literally on the video, so no idea what's happened to him. I will investigate that for the second season. But I mean, in terms of money, we are going to have a budget of around about 88 million. The debts and loans are still somewhat similar, but to be honest, I think the debt will naturally clear, because I don't think we're going to spend anywhere near 88 million just on signing Spanish players, because they're purely isn't that many. Every single season, I am looking through the dev center and looking at the players, of course. Occasionally, it's a bit heartbreaking because we've got sensational talent, but they might not be Spanish. So we are keeping a close eye on anyone we can promote. But this challenge is about winning, winning, winning. So I am going to make sure we include Cabrasi and the likes of locking in Yamal for a few seasons and these sorts of players. But if we get to a few seasons in, I will start signing some real elite Spanish players, because we are here to win trophies. So let's get into Season 2, go and spend our money after a very strong first season, and let's get into our first actual transfer window. It's exciting times. Well, signing one is going to be another midfield option, and I actually like what I see from this guy. You know, he comes in for very little, 3.1 million, only plays 16 games and drops very little in terms of goals and assists, but he is a perfect backup midfield player who can play deep and also centrally. So for that sort of money and for 43k a week, I am happy to pay it time in, time out. I mean, and I quite like doing these challenge rebuilds because I would never sign this guy, but because he's Spanish, he got the green flag. Then with this guy, Rafa Marin, a very good centre-back, not the quickest, but great heading, great tackling, great jumping, great strength, a player that I would never sign. So again, I actually invite anyone to leave me a sort of nation-lock challenge, because it convinces me and makes me sign players that you would not see me usually sign. And this guy now I might consider for other rebuilds, because he looks really, really strong and has come in and put on a great display in Season 1. Again, a unique free agent, and he is 33. Some say he's past it, but I look at a centre-back here who might be lacking a little bit of pace, but he's got good tackling, good heading, he's got very good passing range. He also can still move. He's not like awful, but he has lost a little bit of that physical side, but he can make up for that in other areas. So, you know, I think it's a very, very interesting signing, and it sort of just makes the video very, very, you know, different to see these Spanish players coming in. I mean, I'd never sign Laporte on the free usually, but for a season or two, I'll take him. And lastly, you know it, I know it, everyone knows it, we were always going to get Samu. This guy can be a complete striker for this season or going forwards. I mean, he was locked in this year and he scored 30 goals and picked up 6 assists. Now, he is a dream to be Spanish because he's so good in real life, so good in the game, he's strong, he's quick, he can finish, and that is actually a remarkable window. We welcomed in 4 fantastic players and only spent £60 million, so actually £28 million under budget. And we've welcomed in some sensational players. So surely we can only go up from last season. But to be fair, I'll take a second place again, especially if we're winning cups again. I'll take it. May have improved big time because this is going to be a Champions League final against Liverpool. Now, Liverpool start off strong. It's a great ball through into Darwin Núñez, and they are going to lead the game 1-0. So things aren't looking ideal at the moment inside of 10 minutes on the clock. Until this happened, a penalty from Fati inside of 36 minutes to tie it up 1-1, but I will say, sadly, there was time for one more goal in this massive cup final, and it is going to go in the favour of Liverpool as somehow Gomez gets through the player there, back stick, and it's lucky, but they write their own luck. We've lost it. As we also get a runners-up medal in the Spanish Cup. At the moment, I like to say we're silver surfers. We are runners-up in the Champions League, runners-up in the Spanish Cup. I mean, it can't go on like this. Oh, it can. We lose the league by 1 point. It's mental. 2 teams with over 100 points, by the way. 2 sensational powerhouses going head-to-head. So, respect for Madrid, because that is one of the best seasons I've ever played and actually lost. So, Samu, Fati and Yamal are going to be in there bagging goals, 30, 29 and 20. I can't ask for much more from any of this team. We've got the most clean sheets. We've got 3 players in the assists. But did we lose to Madrid twice? Or actually, we beat them once, and yeah, so again, it's equal. So the draws here, which we slipped up to against some pretty poor teams, were the reason we lost the title. But I mean, do you know what? I can't slate the players. We have played sensational football. You can tell that off the stats alone. And if we go to the stats in the league, we outclass them in pretty much every attacking stat. But defensively, they conceded 9 goals all year. So that's where they get the one up. And I've got nothing but respect. There is still a chance for silverware, the Spanish Super Cup final, and I've just seen that Camavinga's won it back into Mbappe, into Valverde, into Rodrigo, and we already go a goal down. And do you know what makes it worst? It is the 92nd minute in extra time, and they're going to go again. A great ball in from Alaba from the set piece to make it 2-0 in extra time. And if we lose this, we have finished second and become runners-up in 3 competitions. But things might have a chance right now. We are going to have Pau Victor down the right-hand side, inside into Torres, but we still lose. And that might be one of the most frustrating but also impressive seasons I've ever seen. We are bottling everything. We bottled the Super Cup, the Spanish Cup, the Champions League, and we finished second in the league. So you will never get a season which is closer than perfection than that. That is as close as you can get. 1 point off winning it. I guess you could be petty and say you could lose on goal difference. Maybe you can say that. But that is as close of an almost season I have ever seen. We nearly won the quadruple and the video would have been done. So that must mean we are getting somewhat, maybe, just maybe, a little bit close to getting this job done. It's a very good season overall. well, but to lose out on everything feels really, really harsh. Now, in terms of money, we've been blessed because we have done very well. 127 million. The debts and loans have come down about 200 million, so that's naturally taken care of itself. And this team, Yamal 27 and 25, Samu 40 and 9. This tactic, man, is so broken. Balde 4 and 25, Garcia 3 and 13, 15 and 18, 25 and 18 from Pedri and Gavi. Torres 13 and 7, Fati 39 and 17. Get Samu back up top. We'll put him on the wing to actually see. 40 and 9 from him. Yamal 27 and 25. The attack is absolutely on flames, but we still couldn't bring one trophy home. So looking at this team on paper, obviously looking at the best 11, you still see Fati up front. I don't know how Samu's not in there. You see Torres in there. Don't know how Yamal's not in there yet, but we've got good attacking players. Romeu, I would possibly like to bring in a bit of a Spanish dominant midfield player to play that DLP role. Maybe another goalkeeper, maybe another centre-back, a right-back potentially. But of course they have to be Spanish, so you can't go and sign your Coyotes or your Diamandes or your Trubins. They have got to be Spanish born and raised. So, yeah, up the Spanish football. Hopefully we can improve next season, but I tell you what, it's still not a bad one. Right, we've gone fairly big. We are going to welcome in Jorge Cuenca, coming in from Newcastle for £29 million. The guy drops a masterclass in the league, a very, very good average rating. And this guy is our first real quick centre-back, which was, actually, I'll use the words necessity, because we've got a lot of good centre-backs, but they're all quite slow. This guy has to play to pretty much just be the quick one out of the two. And he suits everything. He's Spanish, obviously. He is on the older side, but we're not really seeing too many new Spanish new gens come through our system or even in the game yet. We also pick up Man City flop Nico Gonzalez. He is going to come in for 31 million, which I think is a very fair price. At the end of the day, impresses me. I mean, he is a player that can sit nice in that DLP role. He's got the attributes that I'm after, you know, good balance, good passing, good first touch. He doesn't need to be quick, although he has actually got somewhat okay acceleration and pace for that role. A leading division player, world-class, fairly professional, you know, a Barcelona player from back in the day as well. It's only right we bring him back, so welcome back, Nico. A player that has recently signed a contract, but I'm sure in real life will take a move eventually. Nico Williams is going to sign for Barcelona for his release clause of 43 million, and he contributes 36 goals. Now, this has added such a good, diverse player to the team, and our attack is now pretty much flawless. I'm going to be honest. I look at the front line, what you can do with it, the rotation, the strong players as well in there. I mean, you have got everything you would need for a front line. This guy individually can play left and right. Very helpful for the team. Good dribbling, good finishing, good crossing, good first touch, good pace, good agility. He is a world-class player. He is the word I'd describe. So the addition of Nico Williams, the addition of Gonzalez, Cuenca, we have signed 3 absolute ballers. So I want to start seeing some progress. And I mean, I say that last season we got to every final stage. So the only way we improve is to actually start winning. Right, Champions League, maybe time for redemption, as we are going to blitz RB Leipzig in the round of 16 to get through to the quarters. Ooh, it's close, where we just about beat Liverpool, who beat us in the final. Maybe we're on a bit of a villain revenge arc here. We beat them in the quarters on penalties, and we do beat Real Madrid. That tastes sweet. To get to the final against PSG, who Real Sociedad got to the semis. Fair play to them. But we face up against Paris Saint-Germain, so 2 Champions League finals in 2 years. And maybe, just maybe, we can win the Champions League. Surely we can't lose 2 finals back to back. Well, maybe we can, because we are going to go 1-0 down inside of 62 minutes. And I will say, the one thing that I was very happy with at this game is that we did actually get back into it. And from Ansu Fati running in between the lines there, making it 1-1, we actually send this game to extra time, but then it goes right to penalties. So this is going to be pure drama, this game, and they've got some fantastic set-piece players, as do we. Nico Williams steps, great penalty to match Kvaratskhelia. Victor Osimhen will never miss from there. Oh, maybe he will. We are looking pretty strong. A great save from Penner in goal there. Dani Olmo steps up, and he goes the same way. A big miss from Dani Olmo. Kolo Muani, usually a good pen taker, and he is. Into the top left-hand corner. A great penalty. Ansu Fati, surely good penalty. Nice and safe down the middle. Declan Rice is injured. Maybe a miss. It's not a miss. Fair play to Declan Rice into the left-hand corner. Pedri, please don't miss. He doesn't miss. Into the bottom right-hand corner. Fabian, I've seen him miss before. Not today. Top left. Sensational penalty. Rafa Marin might miss this. He doesn't. Into the bottom right-hand corner. These penalties have been nothing but drama. Kimpembe, so close from Penna there. Laporte, the new man. Good penalty. That's why you get the experience. Oh, I've not heard of this player, but it's a great penalty driven into the sort of left of the goal. But inevitably, we lose 6-5. Oh yeah, that is now 2 years of Champions League finals and 2 losses against 2 very different teams. Is this where we have peaked? As we all, I mean, it's going to be second for a long time in this league. I've got to get used to it. But we also pick up another silver medal by finishing second in the league. Now, I will say it's only 10 points in at this time. And once again, we've actually somehow got the gap down in terms of points and not had as many players in the stat lines. Like, Nico Williams and Yamal are absolutely cooking in the assists. As for goals, it all comes down to Ansu Fati. Penna's going to be just 6 clean sheets behind Courtois. And I would imagine, again, defensively, they simply outclass us in both areas. Possession they do, but attacking we are absolutely everything. So I think it's obvious where we do need to go and improve. But we are going to be in a Spanish Cup final, and please, not another Cup final loss. That is all I ask for. I'd love to win this final now against Real Madrid. Yamal goes through. It's very lucky with a deflection, but we are going to go 1-0 up inside of 4 minutes. And finally, we have got to a final which we are going to win, as we are going to lift this Cup final over Real Madrid in 2-0 fashion. Gonzalez into Yamal. He was everything this game. As no, I'm not sharing the same set of results. We also do in the Spanish Super Cup 2-0, but this game actually went to extra time. So we are going to take home 2 trophies and get to a Champions League final and, you know, finish second in the actual league. So we have improved on last season, you know. We've kept incredible consistency up in the Champions League and in the actual Spanish First Division, and we have turned 2 finals into actual trophies. So we are getting there. I mean, looking at this team, I mean, Yamal, by the way, 48 goal contributions. This team on paper should be able to get the job done. I mean, the right back, I'm still iffy about. Centre backs, I think, are semi-decent. Maybe you could argue we need to get someone a bit younger in there. But we have got a great team on paper. The midfield's world-class. The attack's absolutely crazy. I mean, you have got so much you can do with the attack. Fati comes in here, 37 and 8. Williams, 30 and 25. Torres, 11 and 4. You've got Olmo, who can play on the left. Samu, of course. You've got some Yamal, we cannot forget him. You know, you've got Furman. You've got really good attacking players. So for the attack, I don't even know who we're going to sign, if anyone. Money-wise, we're going to be blessed. I mean, we have got £212 million. The debt, I think we're actually going to accidentally clear. This wasn't a part of the rebuild that I had planned, but because we're not spending over budget every season, and obviously we got rid of all of those ridiculous wages from back that we did have with Rafinha, with Koundé, with De Jong, the club is better off financially. So this actually is a bit of a debt cleanse and rebuild as well, which was not intended, but I guess it does make sense. And I am happy with the progress. Like, it is consistent improvement, but I would like to win the league or the Champions League next year. So let's get into season 4. We'll test out the Spanish market, but I don't really know who I'm going to sign. Signing one for a backup left back who actually gets into the team right away is going to be Alex Grimaldo. Now, he was not locked in. He was brought in for competition for Balde and to be a backup. Now, technically, he might be one of the best left backs in the game. 17 crossing, 16 dribbling, 16 first touch, 18 free kicks. Wow. 16 long shots, great passing, great tackling, great technique. This guy can actually play as a left wing. He has got the attributes to play as an F. I mean, he is crazy. 16 composure, great off the ball work, great vision. He has lost a bit of the pace, but he still picks up 18 goal contributions. So despite him being 33, it's a no-brainer when you can get him for as little as 30 million. And even at 33, he holds a £50 million value. That's when you know you're a good left back. Class player for a world-class team. Javi Correa has been on my transfer list from day one. Finally, they'll sell him to me. He comes in for £51 million, only plays 17 games, of course. He's got some fierce opposition to compete against, but he still drops a very good performance over a 38-game season, getting 17 appearances. So this is a player for the future. Also Spanish, obviously. Very, very good for the team. Fits the system quite well, and just a player that I've wanted from day one. The same can be said for this guy. Now, I wanted him from season 1 because he would have been a lot better. Unfortunately, he's not really developed into the player player that he can become in this game. But for a backup, for £10 million, it's absolutely perfect, you know. He chips in with a couple of assists, didn't cost me too much money, he's not on too much money per week, he's very well rounded. The downside is that he's not developed into the player that we usually are seeing when you sign Fresneda, but at the end of the day, he still helps me out. And we have finally won the Spanish League, and this time done with a little bit of dominance as well. Quite a point lead over Real Madrid, and maybe now we've won it, we can now start to chain these Premier League, Spanish League titles up. Repetitive league titles is what we're after. Now, again, not many players in the stat lines. Abel Ruiz is going to be the top league goal scorer, who is Spanish. Do we put a bid in? Potentially. I mean, Torres is going to be joint with 22 as well. Our goalkeeper, the most clean sheets, Gavi and Grimaldo are going to be in the assist category, as Torres also is going to be close to being the best performer in the entire league. So, 4 seasons, we've claimed that title. As we also go on to win the Spanish Super Cup, so that is going to be 2 years back-to-back now, both against Real Madrid. That is what I like to see, and do you know what? Player of the Match awards goes to this guy, Baba. I mean, it's an interesting player to have in the final, but we'll take it. Drop back significantly, though, as we lose to Oviedo in the 4th round of the Spanish Cup, which I'm looking at now, and I actually can't quite believe what I've seen. Champions League's one big step back. I mean, I know we've not won the Champions League, but we've got to the final 2 years back-to-back. We now go out in the quarterfinals against Inter Milan. The round of 16, we just about scraped through against Arsenal. And as for the league phase, we don't even make it out of the league phase. We go into this competition, the knockout playoff rounds, where we get Stuttgart, luckily. But that Champions League has taken a big dive down. Now, that's not a good sign, because the video can't end until we win the Champions League, and we have won every other trophy, so all the pressure now goes on to the Champions League. And if you've watched the previous rebuild that we've done with Aberdeen, we struggled. I don't know what it is with the Champions League recently. We really are starting to struggle, so hopefully a few more windows can sort of solve that. I mean, money-wise, we are going to have 287 million. You've now got a debt-free club, so anyone that does want to take over this save, get the save file on the Patreon. You've got a debt-free Barcelona, which has been done accidentally, and you're going to have mental wage budgets and an entire Spanish team with a Spanish tactic. But this season is brilliant for the fact we've won the division, brilliant for the fact we've won the Super Cup again, but the Champions League and Spanish Cup are big disappointments. Now, nobody was locked in. We're now 4 seasons in. I said in the intro, Yamal could be locked in for 2 or 3 years. He's got that treatment, and if he's not ready to completely dominate that position, I'm not going to gift it to him on the plate, and he's clearly not. Now, this guy will improve significantly for FM26, 100%. But in this game, I think he's actually not as good as what he is in real life. I mean, you've got Torres up front, 29 and 4, Fati 17 and 10, Williams 16 and 16, Pedri 8 and 11, Gavi 3 and 17, Gonzalez, great season, 2 and 10, 13 goals from Marin. You might want to go and grab the set pieces. 7 from Cuenca, 6 and 16 for Grimaldo, 8 and 9 for Olmo, Samu 12 goals, 7 and 2 for Garea, 7 assists from Bernabé. This is a really, really good, attractive sort of player, you know. He is genuinely a player that was brought in a couple seasons ago, and although he's not chipping in, you know, loads and loads of games, he is chipping in with the stats. So this team, I think it can win the Champions League. I think it lets itself down with maybe the goalkeeper. There's not many Spanish goalkeepers on the market that are actually better than Pina. Which is not a good thing to admit to, but we'll see what we can do, see who we can sign. Money's not the issue, you know, we're getting blessed with money in this club, but it's the restriction of Spanish only that's becoming hard. So we'll see what we can do. Well, we've been absolutely ripped off, but we did need a leading right back, and that is going to be Arnu Martinez. Now, he's not worth what we paid for him. I am fully aware of that, but I needed a leading right back. He comes in for £56 million, which is an absolute joke. But we've been hit with a Spanish tax from a Spanish team. 11 goal assists or goal contributions, I don't mind. So he has actually dropped a great performance. And I mean, if you factor in that we can only sign Spanish right backs, it actually isn't a bad price to pay, if we're being honest. I mean, mentally, the guy's very, very solid. And for a player that, you know, is available as well and is Spanish and improves the team, you have to sign what you can get your hands on. And I'm just hoping, I'm confident this guy's good enough to win me another league title, because he is an improvement on the previous right back. But can I ever win a Champions League with this guy? I guess time's going to tell. We've taken a gamble. And he has clearly been a little bit better than our previous goalkeeper, but I will also say he's not world class, but he is that little bit better. That is going to be Arnau Tinas coming in from PSG for £27 million. Now, he keeps 22 clean sheets, which is very impressive out of 37 games. Drops a very good average rating, a player of the match in there as well. Now, although he's an older goalkeeper, perfectionist goalkeeper, may I add, he is a step up from what we had. So it might not be the most exciting signing compared to a Trubin or, you know, a Noah Atabolu or a Dennis Seaman, someone like that. It's a very fun concept, this, because we're signing players you'd never usually touch. And the last signing of this window is going to be this man here. It is our first new gen. It is going to be Igor from Chelsea. 57 million, 24 goals, 3 assists in a locked-in season. The guy looks incredible. A Spanish new gen, 19, could improve a lot. Perfectionist, already playing for Chelsea, play for Bilbao, a good return at Bilbao as well. This guy, I'm hoping, can be that final piece of the puzzle to get me further than just the Champions League final. He's got 1 con compared to, what is that, 13 pros? He might be one of the most complete 19-year-olds you've seen. And this is always a good sign because we are going to win back-to-back league titles, as you can see, and although it's not as dominant of a season, we have got the job done. Nico Williams and our new striker are going to be in the top goal-scoring ranks. Nico Williams and Grimaldo are going to be in the assists. Grimaldo's still playing at the top of his level, by the way. He is now retiring, but he is 34 to be fair, but whatever happens, he's helped us out massively to win us league titles. Our new goalkeeper, 22 clean sheets. This is working out really, really well. So let's see if we can take this form into any other competition. Well, we can't take it into the Spanish Cup as we get knocked out in the quarterfinals this time. So that's now well, if we're being honest, 2 disappointing seasons in the Spanish Cup. We do go on to win the Spanish Super Cup, though, 2-1 over Real Madrid. And that is now going to be 3 years back-to-back where we have beaten Madrid every single time. So that trophy, I'm going to staple it as ours because we clearly can't be beaten. But the Champions League final, again, our 3rd Champions League final, and if we do lose this, maybe we're just not designed for the Champions League. Things are looking better, though, with an own goal coming in, a bit of luck going our way, finally, inside of 26 minutes, but Man City bounce back. Of course they do. In the 42nd minute, Saliba at Man City, by the way, plays it into Rodrigo, over the top, into Camavinga. They've strengthened, they've improved, and Tinas dives so far out of his goal, he may as well have been on the bench. I don't know what he was doing there, but finally, we can say Barcelona are Champions League winners with an entire squad of only Spanish players by 2 own goals. Yeah, we do win the Champions League, and for some reason I can't show you like this because we've already gone too far, but we do get past some good teams here. We do a comeback against PSG. We lose the first leg, but win the second leg 3-0. We play Galatasaray in the quarters, a bit of an easier game, which we nearly bottled to clarify, but that is crazy to say that we have won the Champions League with an entire squad, not just 11, of Spanish-only players. Now, the Spanish Cup didn't go great in the last season. We actually only won that twice. The Spanish Super Cup overall over a 5-season span we won 4 times. The league we did obviously win 2 times and back-to-back, and the Champions League once. So I'm very happy with what we have done with the team. A perfect reputation, which is brilliant to see. We've actually now got a bit of DNA in the system as well, and we're upwards, a big upward spiral. So very happy. And do you know what? I'm always honest with the end of these videos. One of the funnest ones I've done, because I really like the challenge of being restricted in who I can sign. Some of these players I would never go out and sign. Majority of these I would never go and sign. So if you've got an idea of a team and you want me to sign only a certain nationality, we've done it with Stoke with English players, you got anyone else, please comment below. And if you want to see me do one of these live, twitch.tv/JoshDaily. We're streaming almost every day, so make sure you do come and get involved. But the team that I've left you is actually very, very strong. And I mean, financially, don't get me started. You've got a budget of £407 million and 0 transfer debt. Make sure you're going to get this save file because you've got close to £500 million. You've got a game-breaking tactic and you've got a team that is ready to go again. Let me tell you that. And this guy, please let me know what you do with him because I am going to keep an eye out on what you guys do with this guy, because he looks absolutely incredible. So let me know what you think of the rebuild, and as always guys, if you have enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one, but in the meantime, go and follow the live stream page, because we're absolutely smashing it over there, and you can come and say hello. We do rebuilds live, let's plays, make tactics, the whole lot, so make sure you come on over. I'll leave the link in the description, and I'll catch you in the next one.